Hi, everyone. Welcome to Financial Insights. I'm Linda, your accounting coach. So we are continuing our series Back to School, and this week we're talking about nonprofits. What 5 things nonprofit leaders should know. So today is day 2, and we're going to talk about using technology to track your donations and grants. So this is a hot topic because a lot of times what I'm finding is nonprofits, there's no system to track your donations or grants. And what I mean by that, say a company comes to you and says, okay, I want to sponsor an event. You're like, yay, we have a sponsor. And that's it. So there's no email, there's no award letter, there's nothing to say, okay, this company has agreed, let's send a pledge, whatever the case may be. There's no Excel file to track who's giving, those type of things. This is where you can utilize technology. There's many different softwares. There's Boomerang. I always say there's good old Excel. Even your accounting system, you can even use, if you're using QuickBooks or any other accounting software, that could be used to track grants. It's very important to track grants and donations because that's money coming in. That affects your cash. You want to ensure that that cash is coming in and it's not late. So, number one, what you want to do, create a system. So, if there is a company or a donor who says, "Yes, I will provide a donation," what is the system? Is it okay? You send a letter, it could be a thank you letter. Thank you so much. Then explaining how that donation or grant should be received. And also, are you going to record what we say in accounting, an invoice? So in your accounting software, nonprofits can create a invoice. Some people call it a receivable. Some people call it a pledge. This invoice is created and it basically says, okay, company so and so or donor so and so but has their billing address, has their name, and says, okay, sponsorship, $1,000. That invoice gets sent to that person and they can pay it online or you can tell them to send in a check. So that is the invoice process. And when that invoice is created in your accounting system, it records revenue. Then number two, it records accounts receivable. So accounts receivable is on the balance sheet. And what that means is that receivable is saying money is owed to the nonprofit. So very important to understand the invoicing process. So once again, some people call it a pledge, but you want to have some type of system where you're tracking these things. I found a lot of times a nonprofit say, well, oh, I've been awarded so and so. And then months later, they're like, I'm not sure where the money is. And they have to contact the funder. So you need a system where you're tracking all these things, and then someone needs to be responsible to ensure that money is deposited into the bank account. Then, number three, you want to make sure that not only are you using the technology to track your donations and grants. If you're going to use an outside system, you need to make sure that it aligns with your accounting software. So this is one of the mistakes I see is that a nonprofit can use a software, donor database software. That database says $1,000 in donations, but QuickBooks or whatever that software you're using says something else. So you want to understand that difference because that can cause confusion. And then also, if it's presented to the board, there could be discussions that maybe don't need to take place. So you want to make sure if you're using an outside system and also your accounting software, they talk to each other and it has the same information, it's reporting the same numbers. So that is very key. So make sure you are utilizing once again, some type of software spreadsheet to track what is outstanding regarding donors and grants. Once again, you want to make sure those funds are received as soon as possible. Because as we know with nonprofits, it's all about cash. You need cash to put on your programming. So your homework for this week, create a system. good old Excel always works for me, just starting off. Or if you already have a system to track donors and grants, make sure you review that this week. Just make sure everything is aligned. Make sure that you don't have any outstanding grants or donors, and then always tweak that, and then just make sure that you assign someone who can actually review that data on a quarterly basis to make sure it's reasonable. So make sure you tune in tomorrow. Once again, we're going to be discussing 5 things nonprofits should know, and I'll give you the number one thing that nonprofit leaders should know tomorrow. Make sure you comment, like, and share, and we'll see you tomorrow.